What I'm about to do might be a little shocking, but don't worry, everything will be okay. I hope. So yeah, we did a lot of demolishing. This is all gone. Um, some of the farms are gone too. And yeah, this was probably the most heartbreaking one since a lot of this stuff was here since the beginning. We built the wool farm, I think, in the second episode, and that's all gone. Um, what I collected was about 9 shulker boxes, just full of wool of each color, except for cyan. But I did keep 16 sheep here, so we're just gonna move these guys over there at some point. Just have some smaller farms. I didn't think we needed something that big. But yeah, let's move over here to the sugarcane farm, or what was the sugarcane farm. Just a big hole now. And yeah, maybe a few episodes ago, I tore down parts of the farm that intersected with this part of the moat, right? And I just thought maybe that was probably the best option at the time. And now I've just decided let's just tear it all down. Again, we're gonna move this and put it over there. Build a smaller sugarcane farm. We're not gonna go too large. So yeah, I did keep a little bit of the sugarcane, but a lot of it I just burnt. It was just too much to manage. The iron farm over here I haven't torn down yet, but I am planning on building an iron farm over there. Probably also adding a redstone farm to the world at some point, and maybe build a small factory over there to do redstone components and stuff. And yeah, I tore down the shulker farm. And at this point, I think I have enough shulker shells. I have a large chest of shulker boxes, all full of shulker shells, so I think I have more than enough to get me through the world forever, basically. And yeah, this stuff is all gone. But I wouldn't worry too much. Like I said, don't worry. Everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna take some of these retired builds, like the building, the defense building, even the starter house that I had forever ago. I've always had plans to rebuild that at some point, but I think this is probably the best time to do it. So what we're actually going to do is out somewhere in the world, we're gonna find an area, and we're just gonna rebuild retired builds. So if ever in the future I do decide to tear stuff down again, um, which is not something I'm going to try to do a lot of, but if I decide to retire a build, it will just get moved wherever in the world, right? So, yeah, why did I decide to do all this? Well, for a while now, I've just been stuck. I was using the task system, and I used it a few times. The last task I had was to finish a build or complete a build, and that was the building. And I just had zero motivation to actually finish it. I struggled with the last section of it, and it just wasn't getting done. And I was procrastinating on it by working in this area, and really what inspired me to tear everything down and just, I guess, create a fresh start for myself was, this build. I think it looks really nice, and it kind of defined the style in this area as well. So we had the mushroom farm, and it kind of set the style, and then this is really defining the look for everything. So my monitor did something weird, and I paused, and so weird cut. But yeah, so this build defined kind of what this area is going to look like. I I still really enjoy this build a lot. So yeah, after that, I decided I wanted more consistent builds. So we have the slums down here, and up here is meant to be the more pristine area. And so, yeah, having the modern looking builds didn't really go with, maybe this era of build or inspired by an era, maybe like late 1800s London or whatever. So I just wanted something, I wanted to start building more consistent builds in this area, something that would blend well with this area. Though we are gonna have like a divide between the two. We have our pristine, posh area, then the slums down here. And yeah, so I figured since I was gonna tear something down, I would also build something. So I spent a little time working on a design for the bridge that I've been planning for a while, and a road here. Right. So, and a little bit of extra stuff. We got some custom trees, pretty simple trees, nothing too extravagant. I didn't want them to, when you're walking down the road here, I didn't want the trees to like, I don't know, tower over this. I wanted them to still look quite small when walking up to the monument here. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna build the bridge. All right, so we got the bridge done here. I think it's looking pretty good. It's got a nice smooth curve to it. And that took a little bit to figure out. I actually had to come in and design the archways here first. So I started with like the small one, and then I did the big one, and then just took the small one, put it on this side too. And yeah, it's looking pretty nice. Since we have access to the new tough blocks, I figured we would use them here. And I just threw in a little bit of acacia. But yeah, I think it's looking really nice. I'm gonna come back in at some point and cover up the logs here with something else, and maybe do something with the bridge underneath. But I think we'll get the water figured out first, the terrain around here figured out before we do any more with the bridge. But yeah, let's go above, and we can see we've extended the road here. I even brought out some of the logs just to kind of create this nice transition between the road and the bridge, and it looks kind of interesting from above. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're working on some terrain here, and what I tried to do is kind of imagine like this terrain was pretty rough, and to build this road, they needed to like carve their way through this terrain, right? And so kind of similar to like what you would see on an interstate through the mountains or whatever. They would blast their way through the mountain and then build a road. And so that's kind of what I've done here. I tried to mimic what I'm doing over there with all the grays. We're just doing the same thing here. And yeah, so over here we have like all these different openings. I have a few more, or a couple more marked out over here. And these openings, they're gonna lead a road to branch off and go to like some structure, right? So that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, the train's nowhere close to being done. I do have to figure out how we're gonna transition the train from down here to like up here. It's gonna be a little weird, I think, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, so we have a couple more things I want to do in this area just to help kind of bring it to life. And we're gonna add some custom trees and some lamps. I think we're gonna do the lamps first. Alright, so I got some materials, and we're gonna start, I think, yeah, here. And so we're just gonna build one. I think I need some scaffolding. So these lamps, they took me forever to design. I came up with like a bunch of different iterations for lamps, street lights, and yeah, so, but this is what we went with. I think it was 3. So I wanted it to remain pretty thin, small, not bulky. Let's put I think this goes here. Yep, okay. Need another one of those. That goes there. And then, yeah, so these lamps, or the lamps I was designing, they were too bulky, or they just didn't fit the aesthetic. I had some that looked more like, I don't know, temple-ish. I don't know where I left off. I was trying to work on building this lamp and talk at the same time, and it didn't. I think I lost what I was saying. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, here's the lamp, or street lights. So I think what I was trying to say before was that some of these lamps that I was trying to design, some of them were looking maybe like I was walking up to a temple or something ancient. I know this is supposed to be ancient, but I also want it to feel like somewhat of a futuristic city. I don't know, but I think, yeah, some of the lights I was coming up with, they were either too bulky or they just weren't the right aesthetic, even though they look kind of cool. But this is kind of what I came up with, so it's not so bulky, and I think it looks all right. We have some white banners here, but it's not what I'm gonna keep here. It's just a placeholder. I just don't have the banner pattern that I need for these banners, so it's gonna be a little difficult to get the one I want. I need the creeper face, so yeah. I don't even know if I have the trident to direct lightning. I have a trident. No, I don't. Alright. That's something I'm gonna have to figure out. But yeah, so I'm just gonna build some more of these along the road here. I think we build them every 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we got all the street lights done. I think they're looking nice. I forgot I need to fix that. I don't want these attached. We can probably put that there. Oh, no, this is what I wanted to put there. That's in that. Does that look alright? That looks okay at the moment. So, yeah, they're done. We do have a couple in the way of the paths here. This one, it's not too much in the pathway. But if we do tear it down, we'll come up with some other lighting method for this little area. But this one here is like right in the middle. So this one will probably come down. And yeah, so now that we have enough of these street lights, just so we can get a feel of what it's like walking down the road, we do have some custom trees that we're going to be building. And yeah, so they're going to help frame the monument here. They're pretty simple, so they're not going to like overwhelm, I guess, the picture here. They're just going to help to kind of break everything up, frame the monument here. And so I guess what I can start doing, so I want them to kind of be clustered. So let's put one like here. We'll put one here, and maybe one here. Yeah, let's try that at first. So we're probably going to try to group them in like small groups of 3, and then just build them around the area. So they're also going to be like different or varying heights and stuff. All right. Nah, that could use some more leaves. I might be able to just jump up. I can't get that one though. That might be good. So yeah, we want these trees to be pretty simple. That didn't take too long to build either. So we're just gonna kind of keep doing this. Yeah, I think it'll look nice. Alright, so I kept doing that, and yeah, I think it's looking pretty cool. Though, now that the trees are in, I'm thinking these streetlights might be a little tall. I don't know, maybe if I take these two out. Because once I get up to these streetlights, yeah, I'm not sure. Who knows, maybe I'll go back and change these again. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty cool. It is really kind of what I'm trying to get here, you know, with the feeling of walking through like this forest and stuff. I didn't quite finish. I still had some over here that I didn't do. But yeah, looking pretty cool. All right, so I think we are getting to a good point in the episode to start wrapping up. I know a whole lot didn't happen this episode, but you know, tearing down all the buildings and stuff, it took about 8 hours, so and I did that over the span of maybe a few days, and then I spent maybe way too much time just trying to figure out how I wanted the train to look here, and the streetlights. I know I probably spent the most time working on those, but yeah, I would look forward to maybe the next few episodes. I think I'm just gonna try to knock out a bunch of farms and get some stuff upgraded with crafters and stuff. I know the gold farm is really something I want to do soon, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was probably more of a talky episode, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.